what's going on everybody? It's Keith with the Tulsa Moto Club, and today I've got some catching up to do, but first, check this out. Okay, so I was sent these hand controls from a friend over at Another Cafe Racer Build. If you're unfamiliar with that channel, I'll leave it linked down below. But if you're already a subscriber of mine, you've probably already seen that channel. But again, if you haven't, what are you waiting for? So the story with the hand controls is that I wasn't really planning on getting anything different from the stock controls to begin with. However, my buddy at Another Cafe Racer Build hit me up on Instagram and told me that if I ever need anything CNC'd, that he could be able to help me out. And sure enough, as soon as I said I needed some hand controls, he already had a pair made and he said they're mine if I wanted them. I said I'll take them, he threw them in the mail, they were at my house in a couple days, and free of charge. So that's pretty cool. Thanks again, man. Again, if you haven't seen his channel, it's Another Cafe Racer Build. You should definitely check it out. I'll leave a link down below in the description like I said. Head on over, give him a subscribe, a thumbs up, comment, and let him know that I sent you. But for now, let's throw these controls onto the SR and see how they look. Alright, so the controls are on the SR and they're looking pretty damn good if I say so myself. There are a couple changes I'm going to need to make though. The big one being is that the controls don't fit super snug on the handlebars. Right now I've got a piece of tape underneath the controls to act as a piece of friction just to hold them in place, just so I can see how they look. But when the final assembly rolls around, I'll replace that tape with like a piece of leather or a piece of rubber or something, that way they stay in place. But other than that, they look really good. I'm also going to have to wire them in. They didn't have any wiring that came with it, and I'm sure he's got some sort of situation for me if I need it, but there's a lot of other little changes happening to the electronics on the bike anyway, so it's gonna get a whole rewire down the road. We'll cross that bridge though when we get to it. And since I'm catching up on things, let's go ahead and get the exhaust mounted on the SR as well. Alright, the exhaust is looking really good. Now it's time to sort out the seat mounts. So as I mentioned in a previous video, this seat is only temporary. So for mounts, I'm just going to slap something together real quick and get the seat mounted. So for these seat mounts, I'm just using some extra strong ties I had lying around the shop, which are essentially just a piece of flat stock with some holes in it. So what I did was I took it, I just made some bends, drilled some holes, and then mounted everything with nuts and bolts. Now ideally I'd like to have some sort of hinge situation on this seat, similar to what you find on a lot of the old CBs. But, like I said, temporary seat, so we're going to go with a temporary mount. So that's pretty much where I am with the SR build as of right now. We're almost there, not quite done, but we're getting close. Still waiting on some parts to show up in the mail, as well as saving up a little bit of extra money to make sure this thing gets finished. So the whole reason I'm playing catch up is because oftentimes I give in to excuses. And those excuses most of the time are pretty petty and silly. Like, I don't have enough time in the day, so why even start? Or I'm too worn out from the day, or my garage is messy, or the current excuse right now is that it's just too cold. The cold weather is actually the whole reason I haven't taken any time to get this nail out of the rear tire on my KZ. And truthfully, today is pretty cold, but the weather here in Oklahoma is so up and down that today it's gonna be freezing, but tomorrow it could be high 80s. You never know. So, we're gonna get this rear tire off, take it over to my friends at Cycle Gear, and get this tube replaced. At least that way I can start riding again and enjoy what days of good weather we do have left. So they wouldn't let me record inside the store at all, but the inner tube has changed and we're gonna get it back to the garage and get this tire back on the bike. So let's do it. Alright, so the tube's replaced and we're gonna go ahead and call it a day here. It is really fucking cold outside and my garage has like 0 heat. And I know a whole lot didn't happen in today's video, but I guess that's how it goes with motorcycle builds. Small steps, big steps, they come and go. Nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you liked it, make sure to leave a thumbs up. And remember, go check out another Cafe Racer Builds channel. It's linked down below in the description. And here are a couple other videos I think you might enjoy too. And if you don't want to miss out on any of the progress made on the SR build from here, make sure you subscribe to my channel. As always, thanks for watching. Later.